Hey everybody, so this is the Nord N10. It's a newest mid-tier phone from OnePlus. I think it's selling in the UK first for around 320 euros. That comes out to about 426 US dollars. So for 420 bucks about, you get a 6.5 inch LCD panel that refreshes at 90 Hertz. As you can see, still a relatively modern design, although the chin is noticeably thicker than like the OnePlus 8T, because this is an LCD panel. You still have a Snapdragon 690, which is one of the more recent Snapdragon chips. This is kind of lower mid-tier, so it's a notch below the Snapdragon 730G. But for the most part, you're only going to see a difference if you're playing heavy games. Day-to-day usage is still the same. And because of the 90 Hz panel and because of the well-optimized Oxygen OS, you still have a very fast, zippy phone. Animation fluidity looks excellent. Now around the back, you have a quad camera system. Well, it's a quad camera system, but really, two of the cameras are 2 megapixel sensors that don't really do anything. So we'll just look at it as like a dual camera system. You have a 64 megapixel main camera that shoots respectable photos during the day, and at night, you're gonna have to turn on night mode. But it focuses very fast and video performance is surprisingly good too, as you'll see later. And then you also have an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera that during the day is actually pretty good. It gets the job done. You get a pretty wide field of view and dynamic range is quite good during the day. Details are a little bit soft, but it's an 8 megapixel sensor and this phone's like 400 bucks, so I don't think you can complain too much. Elsewhere, you have 6 gigs of RAM with 128 gigs of internal storage, and you have a headphone jack along with a USB-C port that charges the 4000 mAh battery at up to 30 watt speeds. That's the charging brick that comes with the phone. 30 watt charging speed, not as fast as the 65 watt you get with the AT, but still really good compared to what you get out of the iPhone. Actually, you don't even get a charging brick now with the iPhone. But obviously, OnePlus had to make some compromises to meet this price point. So you have a plastic body that, for someone like me who handles a lot of flagship phones, it doesn't feel premium. But if you are a more casual smartphone user and you're gonna put a case on this thing, I don't think you have to worry at all. And as you can see, there's also a rear fingerprint sensor because this is an LCD panel, so there is no in-display fingerprint sensor. By the way, the footage you're watching right now is shot with the DJI Pocket 2, so stabilization should be really good as I'm just walking and talking right now. Anyway, back to the OnePlus Nord N10. So the haptic engine in this is also a little bit mushy. So these are the areas that OnePlus had to compromise, but where OnePlus did not compromise is software. This one's Oxygen OS, so it's as nice and zippy as any other OnePlus phone, and in my opinion, Oxygen OS is the best software around because it can be as clean and bare as stock Android, but it's also highly customizable. I'll draw a circle to launch a camera, draw all these little different shapes to launch apps, just do a lot of things that other phones do not let you, and customize how your app icons look and UI color scheme too. So still the best software in mobile. And you get a very loud and very vibrant stereo speaker. So sound comes off from the bottom and this earpiece at the top. So I think all the pillars that you kind of expect from a smartphone, even when you're paying less than premium dollars. A really nice immersive screen with high refresh rate, a serviceable camera that, if you have good lighting, will produce a good shot, a clean UI without a lot of interruptions, and a long-lasting battery that will last you all day. I think the OnePlus Nord N10 meets all of that. But anyway, enough talking. Let me show you some more photo and video samples so you can judge for yourself. For the most part, I can't say I'm blown away by the camera, but I think at this $400 price range, they are more than good enough. So another thing I really like about the camera is that when you're recording video, you can zoom all the way into 10x or go all the way out to ultra wide, and it's relatively smooth. I wouldn't say it's like iPhone smooth, but this is something you can't even do on a Xiaomi phone. On a Xiaomi device, once you've begun shooting on 1X, you can't go to ultra wide. Now there's also a selfie camera in the upper left corner, and it gets the job done. It's a fixed focus lens, but for the most part, it does a good job of tracking your face and finding dynamic range. Okay, so this is footage from the Nord N10 selfie camera. How do I sound right now? I'm just speaking at a normal tone, although it is pretty loud right now. Now, as for whether or not the OnePlus Nord N10 is a good value, it really depends on where you are. This phone's going on sale in the UK first, and I believe it will reach North America later. So in those regions where you don't have a heck lot of options, $420 US for this, it's a pretty damn good value. But if you live in China or you live in Hong Kong and you have stuff like the Poco X3 NFC or the Realme devices, then you know this phone's missing some crucial features that those other phones may have. Like the Poco X3 NFC has a much better haptic engine than this phone, and it has a 120 Hz refresh rate. But that's why OnePlus is focusing this phone for the European market first. And I think if you're in the West and you want a clean software and just kind of a phone that meets all your basic needs without any major flaws, the OnePlus Nord N10 checks most of those boxes. Now obviously you don't have wireless charging here, you don't have a premium glass build, but other than these two things, I don't have many complaints about this phone. So anyway, that's about it for this review of the OnePlus Nord N10. I have a lot more content coming up, including on the iPhone 12 Pro Max and maybe the Huawei Mate 40 Pro Plus too. So if you're interested in more content like this, oh, and a review of the DJI Pocket 2. So if you're interested in more content like this, please subscribe to my channel or follow me on Instagram at Ben's Gadget Reviews. Thanks for watching.